Breakdown, where I offer emerging artists my insight into some of the most frequently asked questions and pertinent topics to the emerging artist in today's music business. I'm Scott Austin, CEO of Authentik Artists and former major label A&R Executive for Maverick, Warner Brothers, and Capitol Records. Today we're going to talk about booking agents. I talk to a lot of artists, 50 to 75 a week on average. And universally I ask one question almost immediately. What is the 1, 2, or 3 things that you feel you need to move your career forward? I can tell you that almost 100% of the time, the answers are always the same. A label, a manager, and a booking agent. First of all, what does a booking agent do? Well, quite simply, a booking agent secures shows for certain venues, promoters across the country. For instance, that Green Day show you just went and saw, that was put together by a booking agent communicating with a venue and a promoter. I know what a booking agent is. Just tell me how to get one. That's what you're thinking. Well, listen, if you do know what a booking agent is, then you probably understand how they make their money. The bigger the tour, the larger the ticket price, the more commission a booking agent's going to make. So if you haven't left your local town, if you can't show a history of ticket sales in a variety of venues, you're probably going to have a tough time convincing somebody that you're a band that they need to be in business with. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't about how good your music is or how creative you are with your marketing efforts. At the end of the day, the proof's in the pudding. And yes, I just said that, the proof is in the pudding. Who says that anymore? Well, I just did, because I can do whatever I want on my show. Listen, all I'm getting at is you've got to show these guys the same story, the same history, the same passion and entrepreneurial ideology that you have to show to anyone who you want to be involved in your career. Booking agents are going to look at a variety of things to make a decision on whether or not you're right for their roster. Is it in the right genre? Do they have the right relationships to maximize your music in that environment? Can you demonstrate tour history? Can you show that you've sold 150, 250 tickets consistently in every venue you play for a 3 to 6 week stint? Have you sold a lot of records? Have you sold any records for that matter? Do you have a record? These are all questions that they're going to ask of themselves and ask you, and you better have the right answers. How do you do it? You get in your car. You get on a moped, a bicycle, a skateboard, or a hang glider. Whatever you have at your disposal, just get on the road. Book yourself shows. Get in front of people. If your music resonates, you're going to know it. And if that music resonates with an audience, they're going to tell their friends, they're going to tell their friends. Believe me, you shouldn't have a hard time building your audience if it's really connecting with people. That's something that a lot of bands, they don't understand the concept of it. They don't want to hear that. They think they've got the greatest thing since Pink Floyd's The Wall. Well, guess what? Your audience will be the judge of that. Through smart campaigns, both on the internet and through traditional means, you'll see your audience grow exponentially. I'm not just making this up. I've worked with acts that have done it. I've plotted a 3-city course and said hit these 3 cities and every city in between. I saw that market grow from a local or regional market to a national touring act. It can happen, but it comes down to you. Do you want to invest the hard work? Do you want others to share in this great thing that you've created? Are you willing to put it all on the line, take out loans, pay $8 a gallon for gas or whatever it's going for right now and get out there? Because if you're not, there's someone else that will. The competition is fierce. Less bands are getting signed, less bands are having multi-platinum success. More emerging artists are using all the tools available at their disposal to compete against one another for your audience. My suggestion, first, write great songs. How do I know if they're great? Because I know, I've been doing this for 12 years. How do you know if they're great? Because you have to judge, are the people around me inspired, motivated by this music? I'm not talking about mom and dad or your girlfriend and boyfriend. I'm talking about people. How do you gauge that? You get out there, you tour. Listen, this is a passionate business. I'm one of the most passionate guys in the business. I know. I've chased bands down across the country to try and sign them. I've flown them out thousands of miles. I've taken them to expensive dinners. I've done things that, well, I can't really probably talk about on camera. But at the end of the day, I do this because I believe that great artists need to be found by their audience. You do this because you want to sell records. You want to build your audience. You want to tour. You want to get famous. I don't know what your motivations are. That's for you to decide. But what I can tell you, back to the booking agent conversation, booking agents are looking for bands that have a connection with an audience. Not just a perceived connection or a potential connection, but a history, a bona fide history of sales and touring through a number of markets so that they can justify their time investment in working for you. So if you haven't been scared off yet, get in the garage, practice those songs like crazy, then get immediately in a car, book yourself a tour, get out there, and give guys like us a reason to find you. I'll be back next episode to talk about managers, because that's, well, one of the other things that every band thinks they need, and I'll tell you some reasons why you might, and most reasons why you probably don't need a manager.